Today, we have the Ukrainian Congress of Small and Medium-Sized Business. They had a very vivid discussion there, and we invited the participants of that event to tell us about it. Good afternoon. We are the co-organizers of the Ukrainian Congress of Medium and Small Business. In the result, we can say that we do have small business in Ukraine. It's all over in Ukraine, and we had it today in Kiev, and the small business is ready to continue living in Ukraine and to fight against poverty in Ukraine. The entrepreneurship is the basis of the middle class. The entrepreneurs are those people who create competition, and today the entrepreneurs address the authorities with their resolution of the Congress with the requirements, First of all, it's about simplification of the tax system. The simplified tax system should be preserved in the form it exists today. There should be no tax reform implemented. That is the first thing, and that's what most people were talking about. The second part is simplification of the relations with the monopolists, real deregulation of the business environment, and also anti-corruption work. Small and medium-sized business is the basis for any economically developed country, and today the entrepreneurs said that they are ready to fight against poverty in Ukraine. They are ready to create jobs. They are ready to pay more salaries. For that, a little is needed. The authorities are to execute all the tasks set by business. Please introduce yourself. Kozdzevina Natalya, the Ukrainian Trade Union of Small and Mid-Sized Business Employees, Yednannya, chairman. For more than 30 years, I've been working on support of small business, and we all say that our business climate is bad and little is changed. A lot is being changed. Yesterday, I spent 2 days at the conference together with Belarus entrepreneurs, and they all say, guys, you have already some achievements, you have things that we are using. And I had several conferences, was organizing several conferences with the people from Belarus to talk about the microclimate in the country that's moving from post-Soviet regime is difficult. All the post-Soviet countries are surviving the same stories. Basically, we need to, everyone needs to learn how to implement it all in their regions. Now we have achievements and relations between authorities and business, and we need to help entrepreneurs to become realistic players, to learn how they can find their place.
Vyacheslav, Director General of the Yednannya Union of Small and Medium-Sized Businesses in Ukraine. Today's conference has proved once again that in the entrepreneurial community there is a big number of issues. Even putting aside the annexation of Crimea and the conflict in Donbass, still there is a lot of problems for SMEs in terms of state supervision, in licensing, in technical regulations, in taxation system, etc. There is one thing which considerably influences the entrepreneurial activity. This is corruption, of course, and these are all the issues which were raised today at the conference. On the one hand, the entrepreneurial community clearly understands and responds to the environment in which they work. On the other hand, we have to bring all those issues which hinder development of SMEs to the attention of the government. Sometimes they tend to explain the existent situation with the hardships caused by warfare, by a difficult economic situation, while we believe that all those things should not hinder reforming process. That's why today's forum and all the entrepreneurs who participated in it, they support reforms which enable development of entrepreneurship, and we are very eager to support those reforms which would allow Ukrainian small and medium-sized businesses to survive. The statement, which was approved by the conference, demonstrates that we have our vision, we have a joint position how to develop SMEs further in Ukraine, and we hope that all those issues which are reflected in our resolution, they will be understood and heard by the government. Today's forum was held with the assistance of USAID. This is an international organization which is financed from the United States, and on the framework of today's event, we also had a fruitful discussion about development of entrepreneurship, about delivery of administrative services to SMEs. We had the discussion on the public procurement and try to find solutions to all the bottlenecks which we have here. We are very grateful to all those stakeholders who organized today's forum, and to all the entrepreneurs who participated in it. Q&A session. QHA Information Agency, Crimea News. Yesterday, the blockade of Crimea had started, and do you think that's normal, and what is your attitude to this situation? Besides being a chairman of the Fortetsya Association, I'm a member of parliament, and I was among those who voted for the law on the free economic zone Crimea, and our faction did not vote for it because we believed that law was aimed at protecting the interests of big businesses and not promotion of SMEs. And what we see today, this isolation of Crimea, and this action is a logic outcome of that mistake, so to say, because I believe that the power will need to look for the new sources for survival of those people who reside in that occupied territory, and thus they will destruct resources from their warfare against Ukraine. My question is to continue the previous question whether there will be any losses for the Ukrainian economy. I do not have any figures handy, but I cannot say that the entire import flows to this territory is stopped, because we know that the car transportation, automobile transportation is blocked, but the trains can go, and other kinds of transport can reach Crimea. That's why we can say that we stopped supplies. Liga business. I have a question to all the speakers today. We quite often hear that we should prevent the merger of business and power. I mean, probably people mean these are big business and big power, which should be prevented. But during today's forum, how many businesses are ready to participate in local authorities or local governments? I do not have this data, because from today the official registration is launched in the election commissions. Nevertheless, the previous experience of our association shows that rather many members of our association in the past wanted to participate in elections. This usually happens because SMEs believe that when they function, when they pay taxes, they also have the right to work in power. Of course, to work voluntarily as a member of local government, but thus SMEs are able to influence decision making at the local level. Of course, this should be made without any abuse of this position. Unfortunately, as of today, at the level of local councils, some decisions are made which abuse the power. This usually is related to rent issues, to allocation of land plots, etc. That's why, to prevent this, businesses want to have access to decision making. Today, at our conference, among the participants, we had some dozens of the members of local governments, and I was thinking that it's not simply a wish that small and medium-sized businesses should participate in local authorities. They should do this. And I sincerely wish success on these elections to the members of our Congress. By the way, they represent absolutely different political forces, a big variety of them. In our the Unity Trade Union, we quite often assist our civil activists who want to participate in the local governments. When entrepreneurs join local councils, they take very proactive position in terms of local taxation, etc., and they are able to introduce real changes. They create like a socially more proactive community, and attract more proactive people to governance. In the past, there were mainly local physicians and teachers who wanted to participate in the local authorities, while today, SMEs, when they get access to the local government, they represent the community of those who really pay taxes and form the economy of the local region. And today, one lady from Ismail region shared her experience describing how she unites SMEs in her district and puts forward the issues on behalf of SMEs. And we cannot build the country but develop SMEs.
There will be the hearings, parliamentary hearings on the development of the small business. How will that impact the development of small business, and should business discuss there some of the hurting, most painful issues? In reality, when the minister today was talking about parliamentary elections, he said that the previous ones were in 2010, 5 years ago, and then the result, the resolution of the parliamentary hearings was not submitted to the parliament, so there was basically no result of that. So much will now depend on how well these hearings will be organized. If the draft resolution touches upon some very important issues for business, this will be one outcome. If the draft will have just what usually the ministries and the agencies are doing, then the result will be different. I am sure that SMEs can influence all the processes taking place in the committee in the parliament. We cannot always use that, and also we are afraid to give positive examples. We feel ashamed to say that we have insisted. Several weeks ago, we gave our candidates to participate in the parliamentary hearings, and we hope that the representatives of Fortetsya will participate there in any case. And today, at the proposal of the delegates of the participants of the Congress, I believe that we will send to all the delegates of the Congress the proposal to get registered. We'll do it today, tomorrow. Those who confirm to us that they want to be there on the 30th, we will additionally give more names of people who are real entrepreneurs, real representatives, and this will strengthen the results of the parliamentary hearings. I have a question. Besides all these decisions which are mentioned in the resolution, are there any which could have been forecast? Maybe you got some ideas in the course of discussion. If so, then could you tell us what it was about? From what people were saying, I just put down some 9 issues that we will add to the resolution. Plus, we have some written proposals which we will work on, and we will try to add them. The main thing that everyone was talking about is anti-monopoly legislation. It's about communal services and other things. That is the biggest that we missed in the draft resolution. Basically, the principle, the Congress today, when we learned about parliamentary hearings, the parliamentarians were saying no one is listening to us, and today's Congress is like an influence of the entrepreneurs. These people came themselves They came here with big hope. So believe us, we think this is the case. I mean, those who participated then in different events related to the defense of the small business, they all came and they all hope and they all believe, and we believe that this will allow us to working together with you mass media to disseminate this information. Now these contacts are very important. We are talking all the time about some negative things, but let's talk about positive things, about how business survives, how it wants to change the situation, and a few more words so that you don't have an impression that Mrs. Prodan is MP and she heads this organization Fortetsya, and that is why this application for parliamentary hearings was accepted from her. But we also gave our proposals as to participants, as to those who will be speaking, and we believe that those who are organizing these hearings are interested in having more participants, and we want to have more and more people who will be presenting. Then we are working on the resolution of these hearings, and I can say that the entrepreneurial environment has big expectations. On the 17th and 18th of September, there was the national conference in Ukraine, and these issues were also discussed there. And the entrepreneurs, if I'm not mistaken, allocated 2 or 3 hours in order to define the main problems which are to be discussed at the parliamentary hearings. We also had the proposals which we would like to mention. We have a very important thing here. We want us to be heard. We want the entrepreneurs to be heard. But Mr. Kozdzevina, Madam Kuzel is there, and we believe that the problems that the business has will not be just mentioned during the parliamentary hearings, but they will be reflected in draft laws which will be submitted by the MPs, and we do hope that this will help the majority of the projects to be accepted. Thank you. We will complete our press briefing. If you would like, you can discuss more. Tomorrow we'll be also talking about very important topic for entrepreneurs, and that's reforming the pension legislation. And at lunchtime we'll have a round table on that. Thank you.